G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website and YouTube channel Kangaroo Court of Australia. Now, I've just published an article, probably one of the most important articles I've written, because it really highlights how corrupt Australian federal politics is and the fact that they don't even try and hide it now. An article's titled Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and the Labor Party Bribery Machine in Action, and it's published on Thursday the 23rd of July 2026, and it starts off, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's and the Labor Party's bribery methods, or at least two of them, have been exposed in the last 24 hours in separate stories, with Albanese having a dinner for a $1 million bribe. You do not donate $1 million for a dinner unless you are guaranteed of getting something. So it was not a donation, it was a bribe. And I'll look at the $1 million bribe first, which also involved former Victorian Premier Dan Andrews, and then look at the gambling bribes. Heading, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's $1 million dinner. The Australian Financial Review reported on Tuesday the 21st of July 2026. And Monday night, Anthony Albanese's Prime Ministerial limo rolled through the gates of Mandalay, one of Point Piper's most expensive and well-known residences. He was there to attend an intimate dinner organised by Felix Lee, the son of a Chinese developer. Attendees included Commonwealth Bank CEO Matt Comyn, former Victorian Premier Dan Andrews, ex-ASIC chairman James Shipton, and David Murray, the one-time chairman of the Future Fund. Lee had promised to donate $1 million to the Labor Party, according to a source familiar with the premise of the event. He secured the Prime Minister's attendance at the Point Piper mansion, which, in turn, attracted other senior businessmen to join. Another source said there was around 8 people at the harbourside dinner. Labor sells access to Albanese and his cabinet ministers through a business forum network. The Liberal Party also does this with their own senior figures. Labor's highest tier of so-called subscription slugs corporates and lobbyists around $110,000 for one-on-one time over lunches and dinner. The rumoured donation from Felix is 10 times that. There's also the timing of it. Albanese and his colleagues have attacked Pauline Hanson for the financial patronage that comes from Gina Rinehart. In April, Jim Chalmers took a swipe at the $2 million plane that was gifted to Hanson, saying the One Nation leader was a wholly owned subsidiary of the mining billionaire. Now, it should be noted the $1 million bribe allegation or donation happened on Tuesday. Today's Thursday, and there's been no denial by the Labor Party. Felix Lee's father is Philip Dong Fang Lee, with the Sydney Morning Herald writing in January 2026. The Lee family patriarch is best known locally as a high-roller gambler who turned over $2.7 billion through Sydney's The Star Casino over 15 years. The reclusive billionaire also made headlines when his Australian assets were frozen over a $272 million tax bill and for overseeing a slew of environmental breaches at the family's bushland getaway at Fame Cove on the New South Wales mid-north coast. Separating Lee Sr.'s high profile and billions of dollars from the endeavours of his 25-year-old son is no easy feat. Enter Joe Hockey, the former federal treasurer, ex-ambassador to the United States and head of investment and advisory firm Bondi Partners, who was added to his already impressive resume by taking up the role as chairman of Felix Lee's family office. Felix is pursuing his own path and is entitled to be judged on his own conduct, decisions and standards, Hockey said. The Lee family office is 100% Felix Lee, with his own governance, purpose and operating boundaries, Joe Hockey said. So, who organised the dinner and the $1 million bribe to the Labor Party? Anthony Albanese's good mate, Joe Hockey, published an article in September 2024 titled Labor and Liberal Politicians Set to Make Millions from the AUKUS Money Train, the AUKUS Scam Exposed, which shows Albanese and Hockey meeting on friendly terms in Albanese's office, discussing business and how to make Hockey richer. On screen now is a picture of Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's Twitter account on the 20th of March 2023, which says, "Good to catch up with Joe Hockey, MP, former ambassador to the US, and Richard Spencer, former US Navy Secretary, in Canberra today." Why was Prime Minister Anthony Albanese meeting with private citizen Joe Hockey? Was Albo thinking about his next job after politics? Was Albo helping Joe and his Bondi partners make a few dollars? Have Albanese and Hockey teamed up again for the $1 million dinner? Heading: Anthony Albanese and Labor cash in on gambling donations. The Labor Party has watered down proposed gambling advertising laws, while at the same time they are raking in millions of dollars of bribes from gambling companies. The Sydney Morning Herald reported on Wednesday, the 22nd of July 2026, the Labor Party collected more than $4 million in gambling donations in 5 years, including $1.5 million around the last election, as it dithered on reform before backing down from a full crackdown on betting advertising. The party's left faction will on Wednesday consider whether they should make a last-ditch effort to push Prime Minister Anthony Albanese into a tougher position on reducing gambling harm at this week's national conference, which will decide the next 3 years of Labor policy. Later the same day, hospitality and pokies giant the Endeavour Group will sponsor a Labor fundraiser on the sidelines of the main event in Adelaide. The hospitality conglomerate is one of 5 pokies operators, on top of wagering companies, hotels and clubs, that donated to the party between 2021 and 2024-25. Gambling reform has divided Labor at the federal level and in New South Wales as party leadership rubs up against demands from both party members and society in general for tougher rules that reduce financial losses and harm to families. Albanese and Communications Minister Annika Wells have a rule that stops them meeting one-on-one with sports betting executives to avoid the perception they are being swayed, although in practice it means the task is discharged to staffers. And I go on to say, yep, at a conference where the Labor Party will decide their policy for gambling advertising laws, they'll have a fundraiser sponsored by pokies giant the Endeavour Group. Albanese and the Labor Party are shameless. It's interesting that Albanese and Communications Minister Annika Wells have a rule that stops them meeting one-on-one with sports betting executives, which means they then have plausible deniability, which is defined as leaders or executives purposely keep themselves out of the loop on illicit or highly controversial operations. If a scandal breaks, they can then claim ignorance, making it incredibly difficult to prove they ordered or were aware of the wrongdoing. As a side note, Step and Fetch commented on X, the Labor Party owns hundreds of poker machines as well. Labor owns Canberra Labor Club Limited, which operates 4 licensed clubs in the ACT with around 500 poker machines, making it the 3rd largest pokies operator in Canberra. Labor makes too much money to stop gambling. And I go on to say, quick bit of research, it looks like Step and Fetch is spot on. Canberra Labor Club Limited is a company limited by guarantee, registered in 1979 as a non-profit public company. It is formally registered as an associated entity of the Australian Labor Party, ACT branch, with the Australian Electoral Commission. It owns and operates 4 licensed clubs in the ACT, Canberra Labor Club in Belconnen, Central Social Club, City Labor Club, Ginninderra Labor Club at Charnwood, and Western Creek Labor Club, Stirling, plus associated properties like the Mercure Canberra Belconnen. The Canberra Times wrote in 2019, the Labor Party-owned Canberra Labor Clubs are among the smallest contributors to community groups as a proportion of their pokey machine profits, contributing not much more than the legal minimum, a report by the Gambling and Racing Commission revealed. I go on to say in the article, so in Canberra, the Labor Party profits from gamblers and uses that profit to help themselves get re-elected. It seems the main concern for Albanese and the Labor Party is to keep the cash coming from the billion-dollar gambling companies who donate millions of dollars yearly to the Labor Party. Now, I'm an independent journalist and I'm 100% crowdfunded from viewers like yourself. And I've been running a campaign over the last 30-odd weeks to make sure I can keep on doing the work I do. I'll read that out to you. 34 weeks ago, I launched a campaign with a simple goal: find 200 new monthly supporters so I can keep doing this work as a fully independent journalist, running this website and YouTube channel without corporate backing or paywalls. Since then, 198 wonderful people have stepped up and become monthly supporters. That's huge, thank you. We're now at 2 to go. If you've been enjoying the work and aren't yet supporting monthly, I'd be incredibly grateful if you consider joining them. Here's the situation. Like most independent journalists, I'm basically a one-person small business. Right now, a lot of us are feeling the squeeze, just like many small businesses and households are. To stay afloat and keep bringing you the reporting I do, I need roughly 200 more people, only 2 now, chipping in whatever they can comfortably afford each month. Anything from $3 to $100 or whatever works for your budget makes a real difference. There's no lock-in, you can cancel or adjust at any time. that feels doable right now. You can see all the donation options on the donations page on my website. I'll put a link to the donations page below this video on YouTube. Your support, whether it's a monthly donation or one-off donation, or just sharing my work, is what helps keep independent voices like this one alive. And please do your bit and help shine a light on corruption and share this video on social media. Please hit the like and subscribe button and notification button on YouTube. That way you get notified when I publish new videos. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.